So this is my review of the Pure by SPYY yo-yos. Here's the Pure. I know I said I wouldn't do a review for a while because I've done 3 so far and I didn't really have anything new to review. Well, I decided I've been seeing a lot of Pures pop up in the stores, Yo-Yo Nation, Yo-Yo Sam, the Yo store. And I decided, as they were new and not many people know much about them, I would do a review on mine, seeing as I've had mine for quite a while now. Here's my Pure. This is not one of the production runs. The production runs are anodized red, black, or blue in the middle, and then raw side caps. But I think everything else is the same. This is bead blasted. I think the only bead blasted one in the production run is the red and the black. The blue is not bead blasted. Also, this has pad printed rims and a little circle around there. First thing you'll notice is the side caps. This is probably the first metal yo-yo that has had side caps before, which makes it pretty hard to machine from what I've heard. It's expensive, $150, which I was a bit skeptical about. Then I tried one at Bay Area Classics before I actually bought it, and I really enjoyed it, so I went ahead and got it. And that's one of the things people will be worried about, is the price. I'm spending $150 on a yo-yo I barely know anything about. Well, this yo-yo is worth $150. It has a SPYY-sized bearing, which makes it have quite a small gap. It's a 3.3 millimeter gap, which is pretty small for a lot of people. I usually don't mind gaps this small, but it's just me. I mean, you can't add many string layers or it'll snag because it's small gap and pads, which I don't usually like. But what I really like about this yo-yo is the weight. The weight is perfect for me at 67 grams, which is on the heavier side, which is my favorite shape. It has kind of an hourglass shape, as you can see it, kind of hourglassy. When you open it up, what you will notice is pads. These are not the stock pads. Stock pads is one Diffio thin pad and a silicone pad, I believe. I have right here Duncan silicone stickers. They're a bit snaggy for the gap size, I've noticed, but they work fine. Now, when you first get your Pure, it's very smooth, extremely smooth actually. It's kind of scary. Mine has a bit of a vibe now just because it's being knocked up a lot. That sounded weird. So you can see I've not been nice to this yo-yo. This was my pocket yo-yo for a long time. I've dropped it. It's come apart on me. That's just because I haven't been careful enough. But it's also the axle on mine is loose. That's probably because it came unscrewed in mid-play. But probably when it's tuned, it will be perfectly smooth. So let me get to my notes. Spin time, it has an extremely long spin time. The bearing is really nice. It's one of those quiet Izo SPYY bearings that they use from Japan, which is very nice. Grinds, this is a bead blasted version, so it grinds really well. I don't know about the non-bead blasted versions or the raw side cap. I've never played one of those. It's very stable. It never tilts between in tricks or anything, and it fixes itself on a bad throw. I'm sure a lot of the newer players might have a bit of trouble with the smallish gap, but you just gotta get used to it, really. It can't handle a lot of string layers, like I said, because of the small gap. But again, my tricks aren't very string intensive, I guess you could say. so it plays fine for me. Again, it uses a SPYY-sized EZO bearing. Now these bearings, they don't have C-clips, so it might be a bit hard to get the shields off if you want to clean it. I would not recommend, well, I don't know, I've never done this. There's a way to get them off, but it requires you, like, poking it and stuff. I don't see that being necessary. All I did was drop it in some mineral spirits, yeah, and shook it around with the shields on, and it cleaned itself up fine. So really, you don't need to take the shields off. I'm going to compare it to a couple of things now. Here is a Hitman. As you can see, it's actually not dissimilar in size at all to a Hitman. Slightly different shape. Sorry about that. Turn my sound off. Here is my TT. Again, TT is just slightly wider, but again, not very dissimilar in shape. Notice a trend? These are all my favorite yo-yos right now. Plastic grind machine is a lot larger, but not by much. It's a very different shape. Here is a freehand Zero. So this really is a nice yo-yo. I like it a lot. When I first played it, very first time, it was extremely awesome. So I bought one. I actually had two. I had a Pure XO at one point, but I sold that because I needed the money more than the yo-yo. So that's the Pure. I would highly recommend getting one. They're extremely good. Even at that price, they're well worth the price. Yeah. You can buy them at a few different stores. YoYoNation.com has them in stock. I believe, let me check 1 second. I believe YoYoExpert.com has them in stock as well. If not, they used to. I don't know. I don't check their store. 1 second. The Pure. Okay, no. YoYoExpert.com is out of stock. The YoStore.com is out of stock. I believe Yo-Yo Sam actually has some pretty cheap ones, actually. Let me check that for you real quick. Last time I saw they were $129. Now, I'm not sure why this is. I know a couple of people who have bought them, and they're perfectly fine. So, there's no issue in play. Let me find it. Here we go. SPYY. Okay, no, they're out of stock as well. So, the only place to buy them right now is YoYoNation.com. I link in the sidebar, whatever that is. So that's my review of the SPYY Pure. Tune in sometime after the World Yo-Yo Contest for my next review of whatever yo-yo I buy while I am there. So, my name is Freedom Zenith, and you have just been filled in.